Medicine Buddha appears as blue. In fact, Ruth's picture on her wall behind her has this sort of cobalt blue color. Is everyone seeing that? There's this beautiful blue there. That reminds me of the color of Medicine Buddha, or Bekhandze. It's pronounced Baishaje in the Sanskrit. So the Medicine Buddha is very distinctly the Buddha of healing. And basically, when we cultivate a sense of appealing to Baishaje, the Medicine Buddha, this is his personal name. In Tibetan, it's pronounced Bekhandze. Same thing, but different pronunciation. Bekhandze, or Baishaje, is that which arrives to heal us of illness, as well as mental afflictions, and sort of impulses around the poisons, the three poisons: greed, hatred, and delusion. So he is this embodiment of qualities that we ultimately have within ourselves. This is the Vajrayana view, anyway, is that these qualities that are represented by these deities are sort of awakening in us qualities we already carry, so the capacity for profound healing. But it's also healing because of ignorance. Often in Buddhism, you see these metaphors. It's like the great physician. The Four Noble Truths are sort of along the lines of a medical model, where you have the how does that go? You have the affliction, which is life is suffering. You have how is it? You have the cause of the illness, which is desire or craving. You have the prognosis, which is yes, this can be cured, and then you have the treatment, which is the Eightfold Path. So there is this kind of homogeneity between the physical, the medical model, and the great physician. So these themes recur in Buddhism often, also as far back as the Pali Canon. In fact, the Buddha himself was seen to be really adept at prescribing what we would now call alternative therapies, right? Oils, ointments, diets. He was very well versed in how to keep the body healthy. And so, anyway, out of this, later on, we see the Medicine Buddha as an expression of profound healing, not just of illness, but of any kind of affliction that causes suffering. And so then, as part of the deity practices, we practice with Medicine Buddha. We visualize Medicine Buddha in front of us, radiating just this healing, loving quality, purifying our heart, purifying body, speech, and mind, and then dissolving him into white light. And we take that into ourselves, and then we become the Medicine Buddha. We become that which is the source of healing. This is similar to any Green Tara practices like this. Any of the deity meditations use the same framework. And Amitabha, Cliff, you're wondering about Amitabha Buddha. Amitabha has kind of a different emphasis. He appears as a red color. So I'm not seeing anyone with that color red necessarily in their background. If anyone has it, it would be Michael, who has a host of amazing paintings that he has done that he usually uses as a backdrop. That's a lovely one, by the way, the swirls. Yeah. And so Amitabha Buddha is seen to be the Buddha of infinite light. He also confers longevity, a sense of long life, wholesome living. And in some traditions, he is seen to be really the ultimate sort of pure, luminous consciousness that is all pervading. Yeah. So Amitabha Buddha is really affiliated with this crimson luminosity, as well as just what we might call the vibratory frequency, the luminous radiance in the cosmos. We actually have a meditation that we did on Amitabha Buddha. It's on the YouTube channel on one of the practices. I think it's under deity practices. And if you're interested in that, he's really quite a central, important sort of embodiment of these sort of infinite qualities. So Amitabha Buddha, in some traditions, is thought to then give rise to the great compassion being of Avalokiteshvara, yeah, who is produced as a response of love, of boundless compassion to us, so that we are not alone in our suffering, and that we can appeal to Avalokiteshvara. But this is what this amazing sort of pure consciousness of Amitabha Buddha produces for us. That it's on one hand, it's ubiquitous and impersonal, and at the same time deeply personal in a devotional sense.
I just want to mention the Amida Buddha. Cliff, since you mentioned my favorite Buddha, I felt like I want to say a few words. You know, I think Amida Buddha, based on the way you call it, Amida Buddha, this way of spelling is usually referred in the Japanese way of spelling.
That's
right. So that when Japanese or Chinese Mahayana Buddhists are talking about Amida Buddha, we don't use color red. It's usually just not particular like a blue or red color associated. Just usually Buddha are all painted gold, kind of similar color. But in Tibetan Buddhism or Vajrayana, specifically, there's 5 Buddhas in 5 different directions, and in that case, Amida Buddha, or called Amitabha Buddha, is referred as red. That has different connotation, meaning behind it. So, yeah, and the Medicine Buddha and Amitabha Buddha have different vows, different wishes when they were before they were Buddha, and Medicine Buddha have 12 different vows. So those are all bodhicitta vows. They vow to how to help sentient beings specifically. And Amitabha Buddha has 48 different vows. So different mechanisms of helping beings, and their Pure Land has a different name.
Right.
Amitabha Buddha's Pure Land is called Sukhavati. I think Medicine Buddha's is the Pure Land of Lapis Lazuli. So they're both wonderful places to go after this life.
Beautifully said, Juan. Thank you. Nicely said.
Very much. That was lovely.
Yeah, yeah. And Amida Buddha, as Juan said, is sort of the Japanese pronunciation of Amitabha in the Sanskrit. And there's a tradition of Nembutsu. Nembutsu is, I think, Japanese term around reciting the name of the Buddha. And so you see a lot of chanting and recitation around Amitabha, around Amida Buddha, where that is its own practice. Yeah, it's a central practice to sort of be close to and transformed and ultimately go to the Pure Land through the chanting of the name of Amitabha Buddha. Very powerful, very prevalent in, as Shwen was alluding to Pure Land in East Asia, in Japan, other places like that.